Manchester United News Roundup. Transfer moves, tactical decisions, and Premier League action. The Theatre of Dreams continues to be a stage of drama, ambition, and relentless pursuit of excellence as Manchester United navigates one of the most crucial periods of their season. Under the stewardship of Ruben Amorim, the RedDevils find themselves at a crossroads where every decision, every match, and every tactical adjustment could define their trajectory for years to come. From bold statements about emerging talents to strategic maneuvers in the transfer market, United's current landscape presents a fascinating study of a club determined to reclaim its position among football's elite. Welcome to this comprehensive analysis. Football supporters around the world understand that Manchester United is never just a football club. It represents tradition, ambition, and the eternal quest for silverware that has defined English football for generations. As we delve into the latest developments surrounding the club, we invite you on a journey to the corridors of Old Trafford, where youth meets experience, where tactical innovation confronts Premier League reality, and where January transfer speculation reaches fever pitch. This comprehensive roundup examines 4 critical storylines that are shaping Manchester United's immediate future. We'll explore Ruben Amorim's faith in young midfielder Kobbie Mainoo, dissect the surprising loan recall of Toby Collyer, analyze the potential return of former Academy graduate James Garner alongside interest in Elliot Anderson, and preview tonight's crucial clash against Newcastle United. Each story offers a window into the club's philosophy, ambitions, and the challenges that lie ahead during this make-or-break period. Ruben Amorim's vision for Kobbie Mainoo, a vote of confidence in youth. The manager's declaration. Ruben Amorim has never been one to mince words, and his recent comments about Kobbie Mainoo demonstrate the Portuguese tactician's unwavering belief in young midfielders' potential. In a press conference that captured headlines across the football world, Amorim made it abundantly clear that Mainoo represents a cornerstone of Manchester United's future, dismissing any speculation about the 19-year-old's long-term prospects at the club. The manager's statement comes at a pivotal moment for both Mainoo and Manchester United. After a breakthrough season that saw the Stockport-born midfielder emerge as one of the Premier League's most exciting young talents, questions have inevitably arisen about consistency, development trajectory, and whether United can provide the platform for his continued growth. Amorim's public backing serves multiple purposes. It shields a young player from undue pressure, signals to potential suitors that Mainoo is not available at any price, and reinforces the manager's commitment to building a squad around homegrown talent. The make-or-break context. The timing of Amorim's declaration is particularly significant given Manchester United's position in the league table and the upcoming fixtures that could define their season. The RedDevils face what many pundits are calling a make-or-break run of matches, where drop points could severely compromise their hopes of Champions League qualification. In this high-pressure environment, Amorim's decision to publicly champion Mainoo suggests the manager sees the teenager as part of the solution rather than a player who needs protecting from such intensity. Mainoo's technical abilities have never been in question. His composure on the ball, vision, and ability to progress play through the thirds mark him as a midfielder of genuine quality. However, the physical and mental demands of consecutive high-stakes Premier League matches represent a different challenge entirely. Amorim's faith in Mainoo during this critical period indicates that he believes the youngster possesses not just the technical skills, but also the psychological resilience required to perform when the pressure is at its peak. Tactical integration and development. From a tactical perspective, Amorim's system demands intelligence, positional awareness, and technical security from his midfielders. His preferred approach, which often features a 3-man defense and dynamic wingbacks, requires central midfielders who can both shield the defense and facilitate attacks. Mainoo's ability to receive the ball under pressure, turn, and distribute quickly makes him ideally suited to this role. The manager's comment suggests that he views Mainoo not as a prospect for the future, but as a current solution to United's midfield challenges. The developmental aspect of Amorim's approach cannot be understated. Rather than loaning Mainoo out or gradually introducing him through substitute appearances, the manager appears committed to accelerating his growth through consistent first-team football in meaningful matches. This sink-or-swim philosophy has risks, but history shows that many of Manchester United's greatest midfielders, from Paul Scholes to Ryan Giggs, benefited from being thrown into the deep end at a young age. Toby Collier's surprise loan recall strategic planning, or injury crisis response. The unexpected decision. Manchester United's decision to recall Toby Collyer from his loan spell has raised eyebrows throughout the football community. Loan recalls mid-season are relatively rare and typically signal either exceptional circumstances at the parent club or a recognition that the loan arrangement is not serving its intended purpose. In Collyer's case, the recall appears to be driven by United's needs rather than any failure on the player's part, suggesting that Amram and his coaching staff have identified a specific role for the 21-year-old midfielder in their plans. Collyer had been gaining valuable experience and regular minutes at his loan club, developing the physical and tactical aspects of his game away from the intense scrutiny that comes with being a Manchester United player. The decision to cut short this developmental period indicates that the club believes he can make a meaningful contribution to the first team immediately, or at minimum, that his presence provides necessary depth during a congested fixture schedule. Analyzing the tactical rationale. The recall of Collyer must be understood within the context of Manchester United's squad composition and recent injury concerns. If the club has identified vulnerabilities in their midfield depth, particularly in defensive midfield positions, Collyer's return makes strategic sense. His physical profile and defensive instincts could provide Amram with tactical flexibility, particularly in matches where a more conservative midfield approach is required. Furthermore, Amram's system often demands versatility from his players. If Collyer has demonstrated the ability to play multiple midfield roles or even drop into defense when required, his utility value to the squad increases significantly. The manager may view Collyer as a chess piece who, while perhaps not yet ready for every starting assignment, provides options that weren't available before his recall. The broader implications for United's loan philosophy. This recall also prompts questions about Manchester United's broader approach to player development through loans. The club has historically struggled to successfully integrate loan returnees into the first team, with many promising youngsters eventually moving on permanently after their loan spells. If Collyer's recall represents a genuine pathway to first-team involvement, rather than simply squad padding, it could signal a more thoughtful approach to managing young players' careers. The decision also sends a message to other United youngsters currently out on loan. Perform well, and there is a route back to Old Trafford. This could have motivational effects across the club's extensive loan network, encouraging players to view their temporary moves as genuine stepping stones rather than indefinite exile from the first team. James Garner and Elliot Anderson. Midfield reinforcement strategy. The Garner reunion narrative. Few stories capture the imagination of football supporters quite like the return of a former academy graduate. James Garner's potential comeback to Manchester United represents exactly this kind of narrative, complete with the emotional resonance that comes with a local product returning home. Garner, who progressed through United's youth system before moving to Everton, has continued his development in the Premier League, demonstrating the qualities that made him highly rated during his time at Carrington. The reported cut-price nature of the potential January move adds another layer of intrigue. In an era where Premier League clubs regularly spend tens of millions on midfield reinforcements, the possibility of reacquiring a player who already understands a club's culture and expectations at a reasonable fee represents savvy business. Garner's technical ability, particularly his passing range and set-piece delivery, would add genuine quality to United's midfield options. However, the Garner story also raises questions about the club's recruitment strategy. If he possessed the quality Manchester United now seeks, why was he allowed to leave permanently in the first place? The answer likely lies in the different managerial regimes and tactical philosophies that have cycled through Old Trafford in recent years. What one manager deemed surplus to requirements, another might view as essential. Amram's system may simply be better suited to Garner's strengths than previous tactical setups. Elliot Anderson, the primary target. While Garner represents a sentimental option, reports suggest that Elliot Anderson has been identified as Manchester United's #1 choice to lead their new-look midfield. The Newcastle midfielder has impressed with his energy, technical ability, and tactical intelligence since breaking into the Magpies' first team. His profile suggests a player entering his prime years with the physical tools to dominate Premier League midfields and the technical quality to implement Amram's possession-based approach. Anderson's potential arrival would represent a significant statement of intent from Manchester United, Pursuing a player who is established at a rival club demonstrates ambition and suggests that the club is willing to invest significantly to address their midfield deficiencies. The midfielder's box-to-box capabilities, defensive work rate, and ability to contribute in attacking phases make him an attractive proposition for any top six club. And securing his signature would represent a coup for United. The tactical fit appears natural. Amram's system thrives when midfielders can transition quickly between defensive and offensive phases, maintaining positional discipline while also supporting attacks. Anderson's energy levels and tactical awareness suggest he could excel in this demanding role, providing the dynamism that United's midfield has occasionally lacked this season. The strategic midfield overhaul. Taken together, the interest in both Garner and Anderson signals Manchester United's recognition that their midfield requires reinforcement. Rather than pursuing a single marquee signing, the club appears to be considering multiple options across different price points and profiles. This diversified approach suggests a more mature recruitment strategy, one that balances immediate needs with financial sustainability. The focus on midfield also aligns with Amram's tactical priorities. Control of the center of the pitch determines success in the system. And without midfielders who can dominate possession, win duels, and dictate tempo, the entire tactical structure becomes vulnerable. By targeting players like Anderson and Garner, United are addressing the engine room that powers everything else on the pitch. January transfer window dynamics. The January transfer window presents unique challenges and opportunities. Clubs are generally reluctant to sell key players mid-season, particularly when they have their own objectives to pursue. Newcastle, for instance, will be wary of strengthening a direct rival for European places. This reality means that Manchester United may need to pay premium prices or offer creative deal structures to secure their targets. The reported interest in Garner as a potential cut-price alternative to Anderson suggests that United are thinking strategically about different scenarios. If Newcastle proves unwilling to negotiate on Anderson, having Garner as a backup option prevents a club from entering the second half of the season without any midfield reinforcement. This kind of contingency planning has often been absent from United's transfer dealings in recent years, so its presence now is encouraging. Newcastle versus Manchester United. Tonight's crucial encounter. The £10 million man's potential return. As Manchester United prepare to face Newcastle United tonight, speculation swirls around the potential return of a player purchased for £10 million. While the specific player remains a subject of debate, the narrative highlights the ongoing squad management decisions that Amram faces with every team selection. Whether this refers to a previously injured player returning to fitness or someone who's been out of favor regaining their place, the storyline underscores the depth considerations that become crucial during a congested fixture schedule. Squad rotation during the winter period is essential for maintaining performance levels across multiple competitions. The decision to include or exclude any player tonight will be scrutinized not just for its immediate tactical implications, but for what it signals about that player's future role in Amram's plans. A return to the starting 11 can rebuild confidence and momentum, while continued absence can fuel transfer speculation. Predicted team selection and tactical setup. Analyzing Newcastle United's predicted lineup offers insights into the challenge Manchester United will face. Newcastle, under their manager's guidance, have developed into one of the Premier League's most organized and physically imposing teams. Their ability to press aggressively, defend resolutely, and transition quickly into attack makes them dangerous opponents for any team, particularly one that is still adapting to a new tactical system. Manchester United's team selection will need to balance attacking ambition with defensive solidity. St. James Park is a notoriously difficult venue for visiting teams, with the atmosphere generated by Newcastle's passionate supporters providing a genuine home advantage. Amram will need his players to show composure, mental strength, and tactical discipline to navigate this challenging environment successfully. The midfield battle will be particularly crucial. If Elliot Anderson features for Newcastle, Manchester United will see firsthand the qualities they reportedly admire in the player. This adds another layer of intrigue to the encounter. United's midfielders will need to match Newcastle's intensity, while also providing the technical quality to unlock a well-organized defense. The stakes for both clubs. Tonight's match carries significant implications for both clubs' seasonal objectives. For Manchester United, dropping points would damage their pursuit of Champions League qualification and increase pressure on Amram during his critical early months in charge. For Newcastle, victory would strengthen their own European ambitions and provide a psychological boost after recent results. The match also represents an opportunity for Manchester United to demonstrate progress under their new manager. While results remain the ultimate measure, performances against top-half teams offer evidence of whether Amram's tactical ideas are taking root. A convincing display, regardless of the result, would suggest that the transition period is progressing positively. Key individual battles. Beyond team tactics, tonight's match will feature several compelling individual duels. Newcastle's defensive organization will test Manchester United's attacking players, requiring creativity, movement, and clinical finishing to break down. Conversely, United's defense will need to contain Newcastle's attacking threats, which can exploit space behind high defensive lines with pace and precision. The midfield zone, as always, will be where the match is won or lost. Whichever team can establish dominance in central areas will dictate tempo, control possession, and create the platform for attacking opportunities. For Manchester United, this represents both a challenge and an opportunity to showcase the midfield qualities they've been working to develop under Amram's guidance.
Conclusion: a defining period for Manchester United. As we synthesize these interconnected storylines, a clear picture emerges of Manchester United at a crossroads. Ruben Amram's faith in young talents like Kobbie Mainoo demonstrates a commitment to building for the future while simultaneously demanding results in the present. The surprise recall of Toby Collyer and the pursuit of midfield reinforcements through James Garner and Elliot Anderson illustrate a club actively trying to address its weaknesses rather than passively accepting them. Tonight's encounter with Newcastle United represents more than just 3 points in the league table. It is an examination of Manchester United's progress under their new manager, a test of their mental resilience during a demanding period, and an opportunity to build momentum heading into the crucial months ahead. The decisions Amram makes regarding team selection, tactical setup, and in-game adjustments will all be scrutinized as indicators of his suitability for one of football's most demanding jobs. The broader narrative encompasses questions that go beyond any single match or transfer window. Can Manchester United successfully integrate youth development with the immediate demands for success? Will their transfer strategy finally achieve the consistency and coherence that has eluded the club in recent years? Can Ruben Amram implement his tactical philosophy quickly enough to secure Champions League qualification while also laying foundations for long-term success? These questions won't be answered tonight, nor will they be resolved during the January transfer window. Instead, they represent ongoing processes that will define Manchester United's trajectory over the coming months and years. What we can observe now is a club that appears to be thinking more strategically about squad construction, that is willing to back young talents while also pursuing experienced reinforcements, and that has appointed a manager with clear tactical ideas and the conviction to implement them. For Manchester United supporters, this period demands patience alongside expectation. The club's illustrious history creates pressure that few institutions can match, but sustainable success requires time to build. Amram's declarations about Mainoo, the strategic thinking behind transfer targets, and the approach to tonight's crucial fixture all suggest a club trying to balance immediate needs with longer-term vision. As the final whistle approaches on tonight's match, and as the January transfer window progresses toward its conclusion, Manchester United's journey continues. The Theatre of Dreams remains a stage where ambitions are pursued, where young talent emerge, and where every decision carries weight. Whether these current storylines will be remembered as the foundation of future success or as missed opportunities in a turbulent period remains to be seen. What is certain is that Manchester United, as always, will continue to captivate, frustrate, and inspire in equal measure as they pursue the excellence that their history demands and their supporters expect.